Hello friends, Mr. E here, and today we are going to be taking a look at a Hive Scum build that is utilizing the singular best weapon in all of Darktide, past, present, and future, the Shredder Auto Pistol. This thing, quite honestly, isn't that bad at all on a lot of the other classes, especially melee classes who like to run and gun. It stacks strength very, very well. The downsides of this weapon are it is hard to control and land bullets on a target, especially at range, and of course, that limited ammo capacity because it will spray itself out of ammo in relatively no time. Fortunately, we've got our boy Hive Scum here, who is the counter to both of those debuffs, and therefore this weapon ascends to something very, very special indeed. But before I show you exactly how this thing is built, you should definitely subscribe. You want to see more fun builds. This is just one of at least 7 builds that will appear in my upcoming Hive Scum build compilation, so if you want to catch all those updated for the recent Hive Scum buffs, well then you know just who to subscribe to, Mr. E. Let's get underway here and first talk about our weapon selections for this build. Of course, you know one, but we'll get to that in a second. I like to start here with the Bone Saw. The Bone Saw is an excellent all-round weapon. I think there are 2 weapons that are eligible to be in this slot for this build. One is the Bone Saw. The second, I would say, is the Twin Daggers, the Shivs. The Bone Saw is my preferred choice because this weapon is just very competitive at doing what it does. It can apply debuffs to enemies such as bosses. If you want to get some extra damage on a boss for you and your team, you could switch to the purple mode and put a couple of stacks on there. Also, having that passive in the green mode of being able to apply a toxin to every target you hit means that if you do end up using your melee on hordes, you are guaranteeing that you're going to get 2% of your stim cooldown back from those enemies that are killed. And that is quite an impressive thing indeed. This weapon is also very, very effective into bosses, not only the unyielding monstrosity type of bosses, but also the captain type of bosses. And stacking those extra toxin stacks on there really does help to contribute to damage. So I like this weapon a lot. It's a really great weapon even without some of those additional melee perks. But of course the Shivs are insanely competitive in terms of damage and they will make you very fast as well. However, we're going to be spending at least 95% of our time on the ranged option, so I'll go ahead and wrap up talking about this weapon here. You should use Shred and Refine Lethality on here in my opinion. Crits are really, really good in this weapon, and Refine Lethality is just such a undeniably huge weak spot buff, and all you have to do is hit the enemy one time before it's activated. Then Carapace Unyielding for your perks. Let's come down here to the Shredder Auto Pistol with minimum mobility, maximum everything else. Flak and Unyielding are going to be your perks of choice here. Remember, this weapon really can't hurt Carapace pretty much at all, so there's no reason to spec for it, but Unyielding, being bosses, bulwarks, and reapers, are very vulnerable, and Flak are as well. Flak is going to be almost every gunner, or a lot of soft targets, and the chests of the plasma gunners, as well as maulers, so those guys are getting ripped apart by this thing. Blaze Away and Pinning Fire are our blessings here, and add it up, guys. 5% strength for every enemy stacker, stacking 5 times. This stacks up insanely fast because you can apply on the same enemy getting staggered multiple times. And then Blaze Away is up to 40% strength, so we have a total of plus 65% strength between these two. And trust me, that is really, really competitive when added in with a bunch of other buffs in the tree. So yeah. You'll see. Let's come down here and look at our curios. I prefer triple toughness here. There's really no reason to run any extra stamina on this build because we are going to be just shooting our gun most of the time. You should still run stamina regeneration, however, that'll allow you to sprint and slide to your heart's desire. Revive speed is a mandatory, as well as combat ability regeneration is a mandatory. Although on this build, it might not be the most necessary, but it does help get a few more up times on your stim supply, which can be very, very fun. Now let's go over here to the stim lab and take a quick glance at what we've got here. We are coming all the way down here in the bottom left and taking reflex for, of course, recoil reduction and a bunch of extra reload speed. That is insanely useful on this little shredder boy. And then up here in the top right, we're going to go into the, not the finesse tree, we're going to go into the rending tree. I don't know why I had finesse on there. You could also go the critical strike chance tree, but the critical ratios on the Shredder aren't honestly all that good. So I don't think the crit is all that important, but what is very, very nice here is having that extra rending. Remember, of course, rending does allow us to deal some extra damage into those crushers and also into unyielding type enemies, so not bad at all. You could alternatively leave these 2 points out if you wanted a longer or shorter cooldown for some extra seconds there and put them somewhere else, but I think the rending is very nice, and it will allow you to punch your way through Carapace with a little bit of persistence. Remember, ammo is not not a limitation for us here. Let's check out the talent tree. We're going to start at the top with Quick and Deadly, then In Your Face. This is a huge, huge buff, as well as this is to that Shredder damage. So our Shredder damage is already Omega buffed here. Voice of Tertium, tons of toughness to regain because we're constantly killing stuff at range. Speed Loader here, mandatory because reloading is lame, and we're going to do it super fast. Burst of Energy into Sticky Hands, and this is one of the best blessings, or one of the best talents you could possibly have with a weapon like the Shredder. This thing reduces the spread by 30% while you're firing from the hip or bracing, which is all the time because the Shredder only does either fire for the hip or brace. So yeah, you can do that and you get 10% less recoil. This combined with just having the recoil reduction on the stim here turns this thing into an absolute laser. It'll shoot across the map and annihilate snipers. Boombringer is the rocket launcher of choice. What did I say that for? I mean, obviously it's the only rocket launcher available, but yeah, the best blitz, of course, so we're going to grab it. We're going to come down here and go Gang Tough, Nimble, Tis But a Scratch into Anarchist. You could also go Ruffian if you really, really want to, but I think that 5% crit buff is good for both of our weapons, and it's really good for the team as well. 5% crit goes a lot longer of a distance than Gunslinger does. Then we will take our Stim Supply here. Stim Supply is very, very cool, and this build, if you are familiar with my minigun build, is quite similar in how you use Stim Supply. Then we'll take Practice Deployment and Fast Acting Stims. Now we'll come down here and take Toxin Strength, Blitz Charges, and Sample Collector. Remember I said before, making certain that we are meleeing enemies whenever we can to get that stim back. If we got some easy free kills nearby, go ahead and just melee those guys up. We'll come over here and we'll go Cheap Shots because this is very, very easy to trigger with the Shredder because it's a super high stagger range weapon. Then we'll take Hive City Brawler for extra damage reduction. Easy peasy damage reduction. Punching above one's weight for extra damage to elites and monstrosities. Then over here for this crit boost and unload, which recently got a juicy buff, bringing it up so that this weapon here can stack a bunch of additional damage. Ammo Jack, which extends our clip even further. It means we have more bullets to shoot when we are maxed out on those Blaze Away stacks, and also increases the unload value. Pickpocket for infinite ammo, which will never be nerfed, mark my words. And then Moving Target, which means we have so many dodges, plus Nimble here. Our dodges were uncatchable. Then we will round things off with Vulture's Mark here, and the reason I'm going for Vulture's Mark is because the base damage is here, plus that movement speed is very nice, and this weapon is a very, very accurate long-range weapon that is able to have a really, really high consistency at picking off elites and specials, no problem. We should be the person on the team who is turning and looking for these targets all the time and just picking them off because our bullets will kill them in a fraction of a second, and they are targets that are very, very vulnerable to our type of damage as well. The extra crit chance here isn't all that great, but just 15% flat range damage is very, very good. And of course, once it's maxed out, you're going to start replenishing toughness, and this is overall better than Chemical Dependency here because Chemical Dependency doesn't really give us anything we want. Okay guys, so here I am in game to showcase exactly how you should use your Stim Supply with this build, because using Stim Supply is why it is so freaking powerful. So what we want to do is we want to wait for a time when our Stim Supply is off cooldown, but just before our stim comes off cooldown, usually within about 5 or 10 seconds. So I am almost there. My stim is 20 or so seconds away. And once this is off cooldown, you will have to remember to use things in the right sequence. And if you do this right, you get some pretty funny results. So check this out. I'm going to use my Stim Supply. Now my fire rate is way up. Now my stim is going to come off cooldown. And that's going to take my Stim Supply off cooldown. So now I need to use my stim. And now I need to use my Stim Supply again. And now I have basically an AC 130. And this is how you effectively fire rate stack with this build, and it's what turns it into an unstoppable lead hose. I hope you guys enjoy the build. I hope you enjoy the gameplay. Let me know if you enjoyed it in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Buy yourself an edge! Plastic Versalia, out of ammo! Weapons up! You don't want to be dogfood!
Why am I alone? Reckon I took her own.
fair fight!